All right. Hello and a very good evening to all of you. Thank you so much for being here today. And I'm extremely happy to be doing this series with Premraj. This is a 6-day speaker series, and today we have a very special guest. Her name is Bhavna Shah. And whatever she does, but my eyes don't get off her face when I look at her. Let Premraj describe the rest. Premraj is our leader in, with Power Up. And let me just tell you about him. He's an author and a futurist speaker on leadership and management. He has spent 37 years in banking with experience in public and private sector. He was also the CEO of BPO arm of a leading private sector bank. Premraj is the co-author of 3 books. All 3 books hit the #1 spot on Amazon best-selling list. Views expressed by Premraj have been published on Economic Times, Business Standard, Financial Express, Indian Express, Mumbai Mirror, and other periodicals. Premraj hails from Mumbai and resides with his wife, son, daughter-in-law, mother-in-law, and pet cat-in-law. So that's about Premraj. But before handing it over to him, I would just like to tell you what Power Up is all about. We just love to have speakers coming on our forum talking, because we get to learn so much from them. This is an annual membership plan wherein entrepreneurs come together, entrepreneurs, freelancers, speakers, all of us, we come together as a tribe. We generate a lot of business. There are a lot of opportunities that we have created within the group. Along with this, we also have speaker sessions like these, and we've also been fortunate to have people like Deepak Jain, the director of Adgel Pens, Hiren Gada, the CEO of Shimaru India Private Limited, and many such renowned names who have been with us before this. Along with this, we also believe in a lot of learnings through training workshops, and hence we also do once a month good training workshops on topics that are relevant for entrepreneurs. For example, the coming workshop is going to be on LinkedIn Essentials, which is going to be conducted on the coming Friday, that is 7th of August. And that's all about coming together, growing together, having some synergies created, and having complete support, love, and a lot of opportunities together. If there's anything that you might like to know about Power Up, please connect with me. We are running an offer which has the last day today, and if you might like to join us, I think today would be the right day. So today is a very good day. It's Raksha Bandhan. Happy Raksha Bandhan to all of you. And I'm so glad that today Bhavna is here with us. I will now hand it over to Premraj to take this further. And I'm so excited to listen to what's coming up. Over to you, Premraj.
Thank you, Jaya. Good evening to everyone. We have on show one of the most powerful Indian women in the corporate world. Bhavna Shah is a regional head for India and Sri Lanka of the Malaysian Palm Oil Council, Kuala Lumpur. She is also the President, India-Malaysia Business Council of Women's Indian Chambers of Commerce and Industry. In the past decade, her industry has conferred on her a string of awards like the Woman Entrepreneur of the Year in 2009, Global Person of the Year in 2018, Yahoo India's one of the 7 women achievers of the country in 2008. She's been featured in Business World in 2018. There are some more recent awards about which we will talk later on in the show. Bhavna, welcome to the show.
Thank you so much, Premraj. Thanks a lot for having me here today.
I've given a brief introduction to you about Bhavna. Can you please tell our viewers more about yourself, especially your work accomplishments?
Thank you very much once again, Jaya and Premraj, both of you, to give me this opportunity to be a part of this wonderful series that you've been organizing. I was present yesterday too. I heard Riddhi Doshi sharing her wonderful views, and it was quite enlightening. Now, Premraj, you already spoke so much about me, so something more about me. I'm also still exploring myself. So talking about work accomplishment, I can definitely share with you.
Please.
Uh, like you said, Premraj, that there will be many women you want to share this with, and it's going to be an inspiration. So I'm more than happy to share if it's going to be a guiding light for anyone out there.
It
I
will
have
be.
come, yeah, I have come a very, very long way. Being from a complete greenhorn to being where I am here today, it's not been a very simple and easy journey. I'm only going to talk about my current workplace where I've been working since past 16 years. So it's been a long time. So that's the way it works with me, be it marriage, be it work, it's all commitment. So now talking about accomplishments, as I said, I've come a long way from being a greenhorn. In the beginning, from practically being denied this job, right from being denied or rejected for this interview, for this job position, and being where I am today, it's been a long journey. I was told that when I went for the interview, I was told that it's a very high profile job and this job requires a lot of travel. There will be hobnobbing with bureaucrats, senior bureaucrats, international personalities, ministers, governments. And you being a woman, you can't do it. It's not going to be easy for you. You're married, you got kids, and it's not something. Now that is something which I could not understand or accept very easily. You first take me for an interview, you understand my capabilities, my qualification, my experience, and if I don't fit the bill, you can surely reject. That's perfectly all right. But this was something very unacceptable. So I went for the interview, and after a lot of challenges, being challenged and going through big drill, and finally I got this job. So that itself was a big victory for me. And then it's been like a long journey. When I joined, it was like a challenge. I fought and I got it, but then it wasn't something easy and not something that I could learn very easily. I had to go through a string of failures to learn what I where I am today. You mentioned about some awards like the Entrepreneur Award in the year 2009 by my Indian industry over here. In the year 2018, the very same industry conferred upon me Global Person of the Year award. Now, this is very, very interesting and very special to me. And the reason is this award was titled Global Man of the Year Award. And just to confer this award on me, they had to change that title from Global Man of the Year to Global Person of the Year award. So that says a lot. I was the first woman ever to receive this recognition from our industry. So this is very, very special to me. And as I said, there have been a lot of learnings. The graph has not been like straight up like that. You can count the recognition and awards, but there have been like good amount of plus and minuses. And finally, what we see is the balance sheet right now. So that is in short my accomplishments. But more than that, my personal achievement is trying to bring more women on board. After my receiving the Entrepreneur of the Year award in 2009, my effort is to bring more and more women receive this award. So that is a bigger achievement and bigger accomplishment for me. That says about my work accomplishments, Premraj, that you wanted to know more about.
Great, quite inspiring, Bhavna. You handle a lot of employees. What's your take on employee engagement vis-a-vis empathy and compassion?
Especially during current times, Premraj, it is even more essential, or if you ask me, there's no other way out. That's the only way to go ahead. Like Lenin said almost 100 years back, and probably in a completely different context, what he said is there are decades where nothing happens. And then there are weeks when decades happen. So nothing is truer than these words right now. So at this time, the world has come to a standstill for a short period. in between. Now, of course, slowly we are getting into unlock mode. But the world over, we were having a pause button for a short while. And the entire human race got gripped into this problem, this pandemic. So I feel that employee, be it leaders, be it your junior workers, be it employees, be it CEOs, ultimately we all are humans. Everyone is at the bottom of the core. We're all humans and we need connectivity. We need understanding and we need empathy. So world over, leaders are rethinking. For a while, I am talking to many of my friends who are CEOs of big companies. They put bottom line in a very different, they put it aside. There's a renewed, heartfelt emphasis on employee engagement, on customers, suppliers, and wider community. And when we talk about employee engagement or trying to be empathetic or compassion in our Indian context, see, right now, children are doing virtual schooling. Women who are working, they're also doing working from home on computers and, doing it work from home through laptop or anyway connecting by phone calls in Zoom meetings and webinars. The man of the house is also on computers. And in Indian families, we have grandparents also living together, children also living together, and no one is able to go out. If you see, even older generation, they are all on Facebook. They're connecting with their friends, family. I know there are so many older generation people are finding their school groups and connecting with them. Now, at this point, you understand that in a family of 5 or 6, I heard your own introduction that you live with your parents-in-law, your son, your daughter-in-law, and similarly, that's a typical Indian setup. If you see, if it's not your mother-in-law, then it's your mother or father living with you. That's a typical Indian setup. So, how big houses do we have? We're living in like 2-bedroom houses, very decent. 3-bedroom house is a luxury in Mumbai. So, in this setup, everyone does not have that privacy to just be chatting on the computer or doing their work virtually. And more than that, how many of them have private computers? I was talking to a friend the other day that how does your child do schooling? So she told me that by smartphone, she is doing her own work on smartphone. The husband has a computer, but his work is tremendously, pressurizing. He has to be in the computer all the time. So how many people have their private computers? Forget talking about private bedrooms. So it's the employers who need to understand that this is the time we don't only engage employee, but it's a time to engage the employee's family too. This is a very good opportunity instead of having that once in a year family day. Many organizations have something like family day. They meet up, they invite the families to come one day to the organization and they celebrate. But this is a very good time to understand what the families may be going through and try to be compassionate. There are some organizations who have provided a desk and a chair for the employee to sit and work comfortably. Now, this is something so cost effective. It's such a small gesture, but so thoughtful. So some have provided laptops, some have provided computers, and trying to adjust their timings. Because one person, we say, okay, there's no commute anymore, but if there's no commute, but they have other pressures and other challenges right now at home. So I think this is the best time for leaders to rewind, reset their priorities. And more than ever, we need the companies to be more humane, understanding. Leaders need to build trust with their teams, and especially when you have big teams scattered across. Authenticity, honesty that builds trust. So the first time, be it a CEO, be it a junior employee, they really don't know what's happening. So by being honest, by being thoughtful, and by being considered, we need to be speaking more openly with them. To be honest, by saying what we know and what we don't know, by saying what we can do and what we cannot do. This is the best time, this is the first time ever that we are all on one side. Earlier there was a divide, the employees are here, the employers were there, the management or the board was there, but this is the first time that we're all in this together. And so it's best thing to come together. It's simple as that. So that's my take on employee engagement with compassion, empathy, because it's the only way to go forward.
Thanks for that insightful response. Due to the pandemic and work from home situation, how has a woman's role changed?
Very interesting, Premraj. This subject is very, very close to my heart. I'm very passionate about being vocal about women's problems and supporting women. So there is a very good study by United Nations about global women's scenario globally. Under this COVID times, under this pandemic, an average woman spends about 4.5 hours on domestic work, elderly care. Basically, it's called as unpaid labor, unpaid work, which doesn't categorize into any of these brackets. And compared to that, and on an average, a man spends about 1.5 hours on the same chores. So that says it all. Now we are saying that we're working from home and the maid is not coming. There's no maid coming because of, or many times we're not allowing the maids to come or the support staff to come at this time for the fear of COVID. So now you're on one hand we say our work has increased, it's become many-fold, and there's a lot of pressure, cooking, cleaning, and managing your work. But at the same time, now let's think about what's happening in that maid's house. Her situation could be even more dire than our situation. For them, they have very, very small houses. See, there are a lot of very good reports on the internet. On Facebook, everyone is very happy, making lovely new dishes and clicking and posting pictures. On corporate world, everyone on LinkedIn, you see everyone is talking about empathy and changing the corporate scenario. But the reality is people don't have jobs. And when they don't have jobs, women are even more hit because they are more affected by these problems. Their salary is anyways not on par with their male counterparts. B, they can't step out, they can't be in because their houses are really, really small. You'll be appalled, Premraj. There are in Mumbai, there are slums, there are chawl systems and low income housing accommodation. There's such tiny room and there are 8 and 10 people living in that room. Now, how do they even physically fit in is a big question mark. Now, in this case, earlier, many of them used to work half the members work during daytime and half the people work in such families. Like the female, they used to do household chores and men work like security guard and factory jobs, etc., or drivers. So they could find space to sleep in the house also. But now their situation is worse. They can neither be indoors, neither can they go out, and many of them are not getting their pay. They're not getting their salaries. So imagine not having money also to eat, feed their children. Not people are talking, and a lot of them are providing services also. In fact, on this group itself, I know so many of them are doing fantastic job. But there's much, much more to do. The problem is far more graver than we understand or we can grasp. And at the same time, uh, domestic violence against women has also increased many-fold. There was this report on the Hindu that currently during this COVID time, during this COVID pandemic time in India itself, I'm not even going into global statistics, domestic violence against women has increased highest in the last decade. in last 10 years is the highest, So people are frustrated when they have abusive partner, and to stay in that atmosphere is actually heart wrenching, and there is no immediate solution. So it's different for different people. And at the same time, I'm talking to very senior corporate leaders, and they're very happy. They said they've never spent so much time at home. They're so happy. Now I'm finding time for gym. There are people who say, "Oh, I'm getting homemade food. I'm very, very happy now that I'm getting hot food prepared at home." And so the problem is different at different levels for women too. But the problem is a little more severe than um, the other gender, sadly.
Thank you. Thanks for these insights. Jaya, there are some people out who wants to be let in. Can you please do that?
Premraj, there is a problem with Lata Subraidu. I'm letting her in, but it logs off again. So I am not able to actually let her in. I don't know what to do.
Okay, it's okay. I'll inform her.
Thank you.
Bhavna, in your experience as a woman and mother of two grown-up daughters, please share your story of success. What worked for you, and how did you overcome challenges on the way?
Premraj, your question is, if you see, it's quite loaded question because number one, what is the definition of success? Success means different thing to different people. You see, Maslow's law of the hierarchy of needs, it means different things to different people. Now, for an author, because you're an author, I'm using that analogy. To get your book published and to become a bestseller, that's success. To an
True.
influencer, to have more number of followers is success.
Hmm.
So success means different thing to different people, and to some people it's just monetary gains. To have a plush house and a number of cars, that's success. So for me also, the definition of success has been different at different times. In fact, when I moved back to India in early 2000, so my idea of success was very, very different at that point in time. Uh, as you grow, your definition of success also keeps changing. So I've never harbored an ambition to really have, like, if I get this position, then I consider myself successful. Or if I achieve XYZ amount of X figure of salary, then I'm successful. But I think with hard work, with smart work, I will not say only hard work because I've grown wiser now. So with smart work, learning on the way, picking up the ropes, and making the right decision at the right time, for me to have two wonderfully grown children, two daughters, as you mentioned, to see them do well in life, that's success. To manage to have my family together and to sit here and chat with you today, or we're doing a number of engagements with speakers, that's success. So for me, if I'm able to help other women join in the group and join the board, that is success. So it's been a long story, like I said earlier when I shared my accomplishments. A lot of self-belief, a lot of reading, uh, investing in good relations. To me, my people, my friends, my family, that's everything. So investing in the right relations, that's success. That's my definition or my idea of success. So I don't know how many of them will relate to me, but I consider myself successful with all this and I'm very happy.
You're handling multiple roles. How is it that you structure your day?
Yes, Premraj. Very recently, one of our dear friend, I don't know if she's on the group right now, Payal Irani, she is an expert at psychogeometrics. And why I'm sharing this with you is you'll come to know in due course. she has this wonderful scientific tool which helps you understand yourself better, which helps you understand your personality, and that defines how do you structure your goals, your life, etc. And her test was very, very revealing. I am a very, very clear person. I know exactly what I want in life. Uh, but her test revealed something very interesting, that I'm a combination of a triangle and a circle. So I'm a very a person with strong leadership skills. I'm this, I'm this. She's given a whole big list of it. And then it also says I'm very unorganized. So that makes perfect sense. I have a clarity what I want to achieve. I just plan my morning. Then the rest of the day follows, it just falls in place after that. So basically, I'm not so very well organized. That's something that I'm learning right now. uh, a dear friend and who's also a guide to me has been inculcating this habit in me to start noting down things. So lately I've been trying to cultivate that habit. But to be honest, I'm very clear about my goals, what I exactly want, but I don't plan minute by minute day. That way I can be very unorganized. And frankly, the industry and the work that I do, nothing ever goes as planned. You start your day with one call, and by the time I get 10 different calls that this is a side, and that becomes my priority. So more than often I find myself firefighting with a lot of issues. But I have segregated my life that this is my family time that cannot be disturbed unless it's some emergency or crisis. This is my professional work, that is something which has to be my priority, because whatever I am today, I am because of that. And in addition to that, I think it's not just wearing a lot of hats and you get a lot of compliments, etc. But it's not that, it's your responsibility to help other people as you grow up. I could easily go away from these extra things that I'm taking because it's work. It's not just easy to coordinate with so many different people, to chalk out activities, to think of other people. But I think as you grow up the ladder, like when you're young, when you're in school, you're carefree, you enjoy life. Then as you grow up, you start helping your family at home. Maybe if you're a young girl, you help your mom in kitchen and help your dad with other things, planning. And as you get married, you start taking more responsibility. So this is very, very simply the way I look at a simple analogy. As you grow in life, you take up responsibility of more people. Otherwise it's pointless. Otherwise it's very, very selfish. So once your intention is clear, then you manage to find time. Then things will happen. Then you can, easily go about and achieve your tasks.
Okay. Who or what has shaped the Bhavna we are seeing?
Everything actually, Premraj. Everything and everyone. Uh, I understand and accept all the experiences. I'm like a sponge, I can't just say one person or one place. In fact, my children, my daughters, they are a very big influence on me. Of course, yesterday we had a very big session with Vidhi, so my take is a little different, So I have learned a lot with my daughters. Motherhood has taught me a lot, It's like a mini universe where I learned a lot, and which is what I go out and practice in my corporate world too. Principles are basically same. Logic is same. If you apply in different scenarios, it works. So everything, like meeting you, Premraj, meeting all these wonderful people, so many people that I know over here, everyone has helped me grow as a person that I am. Even negative influences have been something where I picked up something what not to do. Even bad experiences shape you to be how to move in the right direction. So everything, good, bad, ugly, I accept everything as my teachers. I learn from every individual, every incident, every place. I learned a lot from my workplace. I learned a lot from all my friends. So it's difficult to attribute to one, but my kids, my family plays a very big role. The books that I read, the thoughts that I have, the practices that I do, that's all that makes me what I am.
Yeah, in the position that you are in, there will be a lot of critics. How is it that you handle these critics?
Really? Okay. I really don't think much about it. Frankly speaking, I don't take compliments to heart, neither I take critics to heart. See, critics is something different. If you tell me feedback, then yes, that's something different. But critics will always have. See, my database is about 5,000 people, so I might not be able to keep in touch with all 5,000. I might not even be able to know what they do. So how can someone just come and tell you something today? Because of social media, anyone can come and tell you anything. I learned something very nice from Sam Cawthorn, who's a master influencer, mentor, and the person behind Speakers Institute, the brain of Speakers Institute, where we all have, most of us have done our boot camp. Feedback, all nice things, good things, compliments is nice. We all feel good. It massages your ego, but you don't learn anything from them. You actually learn from constructive feedback, or you learn from I won't say criticism, but feedback. But the problem is, no one likes feedback. No one likes criticism. I mean, uh, even a small child, you tell him, "Oh, you've not done this right, or you should be doing this." A kid will also not listen to you. So when you just say the same thing in a different manner, see, criticism also you need to understand. If someone is only complaining, criticizing, then you will know the difference. So from Sam, what I learned is you take criticism or you understand or you take feedback from someone who's coming from authority. So someone who knows nothing about my work, coming and giving me advice, I will just smile and just walk away. If you're giving me some idea how to improve, then yes. So my approach is very simple. First of all, I don't have so much of time in world to accept criticism or compliments. I just have to smile and move back in both the scenarios. I have so much to do now. As soon as we finish this, I have to be, doing other things at home. I'm sure you also. And then next day again, we have a different story. I have a home. I have a work. My portfolio at work, and this itself is very very draining. It can take a lot of energy and time. In addition to that, a lot of other things. So I don't have time for any kind of toxicity or negativity. But if someone is sharing feedback, then I'm definitely open to see how or where I can learn. But with time, you know who's genuine, who's not. If someone is critiquing a certain factor, then yes. But if someone is just constantly telling you, abusing you, criticizing you, then it's no point wasting your time. Just move on, say thank you, excuse me, and walk away. So I'll tell you why. When you mentioned about my industry and my work, my database is about 5,000 plus. And once I can't meet up right now, it's due to lockdown, but otherwise, 5,000 is a huge database. So, someone once complained that she never meets us, she doesn't, have time to meet us, etc. Some industry member. And I thought, like, look, my database is 5,000 plus. So, even if I have breakfast, lunch, and dinner with one each of you, I will not finish the entire database. So, I have to prioritize work. So sometimes, so what sense does it make? Everyone is important, but it's not like I can meet up everyone. So such kind of criticism, I don't even waste my time. Where there's some feedback coming, where there is some area to improve, I listen, I smile, I try to implement. I might not always be successful, but I'm pretty open and I don't worry and think much about it. Sometimes people say something on your face, they say something behind your back. I take people at face value. Despite I know A said B, A was telling B something behind you. I don't have bandwidth for all that. A said that you're wonderful. Oh, super. That made my day. Thank you very much. That's about it. I don't waste my time.
Nice way of handling critics, especially when you said you can smile away and you have an infectious smile.
Thank you, Premraj.
What is still your biggest challenge?
My biggest challenge, it's something very simple, but I realized just 2 days back. It's not challenge, but something that I need to learn. I need to improve on. I'm still not able to say no easily. That is something I need to learn, to put my foot down and say no. I cannot do this, or this is not acceptable. That is one thing I need to improve on. Otherwise, challenge in workplace, that keeps changing. You have new targets, you have new goals, and you'll have new challenges that will keep changing, and we keep upping our game. That's how we keep moving, so that's not such a big challenge to me, because I can adapt, I can learn, I can grow. But this is one area which I think I need to learn how to say no.
Okay. Now, very recently, you have been conferred with a big award. I did not mention that in the introduction. Can you please talk about it?
Yes, Premraj. Just recently, I got this award from Women Economic Forum. I believe that's what you're referring to, right?
Yes, 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 yes.
Right. Uh, there are these two big associations: Women's Indian Chamber of Commerce and Industry, and there is ALL, All Ladies League. So together they have this huge platform created called Women Economic Forum. I believe they kind of made a history last weekend. They had the longest or biggest digital webinar, where they had 7 concurrent sessions over 2 days, over a weekend. And they had some very, very big personalities. There was this Maharaja Krishna Deva Raya of Mysore, Maharani Krishna Deva Raya, his wife, and the Raj Mata, and ex-president of Slovenia, president of Ecuador, and our own Captain Raghuram. Lot of big personalities, Anupam Kher, and it was a very big platform. And they have a jury. I don't even know who the jury was. And seeing your work profile and getting your information, they have conferred this award. Uh, Iconic woman making the world a better place for all, something like that. So it's nice. It feels good. These are like small. See, your life doesn't change with these awards or rewards. It's not that you're working for this, but these small things, they encourage you to do better, to help society more. That's my way of looking at these awards. And I think that this is more like an encouragement for servitude. It helps you to do better in life, and why not. So it doesn't change anything. Not like this, if this award wasn't there, what was I doing, or did this change my designation? No, nothing like that. But it is a good encouragement, and again, you smile and you walk on. Like the way you don't take criticism, you should not even take compliments to your head too much. So that's how it is.
Good. Congratulations again.
Thank you.
And we have been speaking for the last about 40 odd minutes. Can we spend the next 10 or 15 minutes taking some questions from those? Jaya, over to you with the question. And
Premraj, I've got message from Lata's been messaging me also. So
I've messaged her. I've messaged her. Okay, there is some technical issue. She can't get in.
Okay, fine.
I'll talk to her.
Sure,
While
sure.
Jaya is handing the questions, I'll have a word with her.
Yeah, so people have written various things, but before that, it was lovely hearing you out, Bhavna. You're such an inspiration, and वो होता है ना, ऐसे लगता है कि एक दिन मैं भी ऐसा करूंगी, वैसा वाला फीलिंग आता है सुन के. So very happy to hear.
Jaya, you are such a modest person. You, Premraj, also. Both of you are such modest and warm people. I'm humbled, actually. Don't. This is too huge for me.
Thank you. So
Nice of you. Nice of you.
They are mentioning here, more power to you. That's what Payal says, and she also says that a personal question to Bhavna: your beautiful daughters are going to following your footsteps. Okay, she's asking you, I think. Okay, are they going to follow your footsteps?
Like what, joining my industry or how? See, my daughters have actually been my inspiration, as I said earlier. I'm very amazed at the kind of common sense and grounded that they are. I learn a lot from them. Uh, Not just like about new technological things or fashion or something, but we really talk. We sit and share, we chat, and it's going to be surprising, but they also give me advice.
Yeah,
And
even my kids do that.
yeah, they do, seriously, and it's sound advice. When you think back, it's sound advice. So my daughters are already ahead of me. My older daughter already performed at TED. I'm yet to go there. so
Wow.
I don't know if they
Ritu
are
is
following
clapping
footsteps
there.
of me. Yes. So, but they're doing well, and they are my biggest followers, because many a times when I get tired, or when I get fed up, or when I don't want to do something, in the sense, as I said, the corporate race is not that easy, not that simple. But then
Yep.
I look at them, and that inspires me to go on. Because, Jaya, you, as you said, you have kids. I don't know if you have a son or a daughter, but in school, they always have to write these essays,
Hmm.
on women empowerment, and we teach them so many things, and when we make them write all those fancy things, and then when it comes to ourselves, if we are not able to handle,
Yes.
so by talking they don't follow, they follow by watching you, by seeing you, they
Right.
pick up behavior. So when I'm teaching them that you have to be fearless, if someone is we're living in Mumbai, it is sometimes there are situations, so when you tell them be tough, learn to fight, don't get bogged down by being a girl or something. Now when I tell her all that, and when at the first opportunity I don't know, I run around, then where am I? So they won't say anything, but of course they are watching. So
So
I have to be that example for them to whatever I'm trying to preach. So
very
they are my biggest inspiration, that for them, if they're watching me, I have to ensure I'm doing the right thing. I'm walking the talk, not just talk.
Very true, very true. In fact, sometimes when I just say something and then I keep making these videos where I talk about motivation and this and that, my son, he's 16 and I have a daughter who's 13. Okay, so he'll tell me, "Mama, आप इतना सारा सब बताते हो, आप भी खुद समझो ना थोड़ी कुछ बातें." I said, just because I'm scolding you doesn't mean I don't understand. Have that, fun moment.
Yeah, true, very true.
So yeah, so tell me.
Jaya, there's so many those good morning messages that I get, and I'm sure you also get, because that's a WhatsApp business.
Yeah, yeah,
The thing is that I sometimes wonder, all these people who are sending these messages, even if they implement one-fourth of it in their life, we all would have been it is a different world.
yeah. Very true. Very true, yeah. So yeah, so okay, so I hope that answers you, Payal. We spoke about our motherhood on whatever we could. Ansi, okay, Suman Siroya says superb Bhavna. Ansi Lewis is saying she's also a member of Power Up. She said, really, Bhavna, you are an amazing personality and an absolute inspiration.
Thank you for all those kind words, every one of you.
We
Suman,
still have them.
Partner, Nancy. Yeah,
We
it's,
still
it's a
have them.
great pleasure.
Satish Pandey is saying, nice talk by Bhavna. It was an insightful talk rather than usual stuff which we hear on social media platforms. Lots of takeaways from this discussion. Wow.
Um, so that's what Premraj and we discussed. Like he told me that his major focus is on employee engagement, and he said this is one area that about women and how they're handling workplace, etc. So we discussed that what do you really want to do with this talk. So he said, no, it's very clear. We are trying to share information, and that's why I came on board. He said that it's important to talk. He said it's important to share. So I agree. Yes.
True, yeah. So if anybody might want to unmute and ask a question, we are open for that. I'm also okay with
Hello.
somebody putting in something. Oh, we are having comments coming in. Suman says, Bhavna, you inspire. Ritu Rana says, a poised and profound message, inspiring as always. Rajeshri says, very inspiring, thanks. Lata Subraidu says, Bhavna is a beautiful human being. Her goodness is difficult to describe in words.
Lata has joined in. I'm so happy. I was getting worried about, how to get her in. Glad she's here.
Yeah, I kept putting her in and she was logging out. I think finally the internet issue must have gotten
Okay.
better.
Okay, I
So
see.
even I'm
So
glad.
So
there's
much.
just one question which I would like to ask. Sorry, I came in a bit late. A lot of some guests in our house for Raksha Bandhan. But I just wanted to ask Bhavna one question. Ki, let's assume you have done something which is done with a lot of good intent, and somehow it's being taken wrongly by people, and you're misunderstood. So how do you handle that?
Yes,
Some decisions which are taken in utmost fairness and just, but somehow you are misunderstood. Has that happened? And
oh, yeah,
maybe,
yeah,
yeah, and how?
yes, yes, yes. Abhishek, I can really understand your concern that many a times it happens in life that you may do something with very good intentions, and but somewhere, I don't know, were you there when we discussed about critic and compliments, etc.? Critic basically more than that.
Yeah,
So for my way of approaching this problem would be very simple. A, I would need to sit and review. I will review my own behavior or whatever that problem is very objectively. I would sit and think about it, that did I go wrong somewhere, and try to do it objectively. Not to human nature is you might try to justify yourself, but no, I will try to see if I'm wrong somewhere. And if I am not able to understand, I will try to step into the other person's shoes. Then maybe you can see it better. If you say that XYZ is hurt, or anyone who's affected by your decision, your employees or your neighbors, or it could be anywhere. So try to put yourself in their shoes. Then how is the other person viewing? Now, were you there, and if this incident would have happened, how would you react? Number two, despite trying to evaluate the whole thing, if you don't understand, try to talk to the person that, look, I still don't understand where I went wrong. And if at all, see, you don't have to just unnecessarily go and apologize if you think you've really not done anything wrong. But try to talk, because most problems are solved by talking. If the world can solve global warming by talking, people can sit together. There are roundtable conferences for what? For discussing and solving world issues. If geopolitical tensions can be solved by sitting on across a table, then these may be some simple small things. So A, talk talk it out with the people with empathy. And if it still doesn't work, you just can't do, smile and walk on. Simple. Because
good.
your intentions were right. Your intentions are good. But if the other person doesn't understand, in fact, I was talking to my daughter something very interesting just 2 days back. We were talking something else, but we reached to a subject that many a times in life, we both may be at same stage, like how you view the same situation. You must have seen that from here it looks like 6, from here it looks like 9. So I was telling her, where we were sitting from our window, we could see a wall. There's a white wall. So I was saying, we both are sitting over here and we are looking at the wall. But if I have an architectural background, I will try to understand that how this brick was made. I mean, this wall was made, how many bricks must have been used. This wall looks like 10 years old to me. If wherever I come from, I will think about that. And I said, if you are a different person, you might think like, can I jump it? Can I scale it? If you're a mountaineering person, or you have this fancy of climbing and hiking, then probably you'll think, okay, in 5 minutes I can scale up the bridge. Now we both are looking at the same thing. We both are sitting at the same step. We both are watching from the same window, but we will see it and think differently. So that's what happens in life. So you try to tell her, look, I was not even thinking of scaling or jumping. I am thinking, can we rebuild this wall? And so you try to discuss, but if it doesn't work, because everyone's at a different level in life. We may have been together for only one group. Like, let's say we were together in school, or we were together in college, but we both came from different families, different backgrounds, different values. And after that also, we are going to be in different places. We are not together. So you can only talk, try to understand and help each other. But if it doesn't work, move on. Don't
Thanks.
harbor toxicity.
Agreed. Agreed. Okay. Thank you. Thank you.
Thank you, Abhijit.
Thank you. Yeah.
That was such a good
Yeah.
question. No? It opened up such a beautiful conversation actually, and it was good to hear your views about that. Yeah.
Yeah.
So there are many comments coming in. मेरे को jealousy हो रहा है अभी. रुको फिर भी.
Hello, Prem.
Yeah, Suresh, please, your question.
Can I ask a question? Okay.
Please,
Thank you.
please.
Yeah. I just wanted to ask you a simple question, which during this pandemic, we have been hearing lots of stories about people, young people, dynamic people around 55, 60 and all that, facing heart attacks and dying, unfortunately. What I am saying is stress has become buzzword of the world now today. So that is killing everybody. So I'm just asking a very simple question: is that what do you think in terms of what are the steps that you feel? Few steps you can say that these steps we should look at it for controlling our own stress.
Thank you so much for that question. But let me put a disclaimer that I am not any medical expert to give you steps, or because that's what's happening right now. Everyone has become expert and everyone is giving advice left, right, and center, you know.
Yes,
True.
yes.
So
True.
I come from a lot of basic common sense. I'll tell you not about how to take care of our health physically. In the sense, the basic steps everyone should follow about health and hygiene. Whatever comes in, wash it thoroughly. Wash your hands several times. Don't put it anywhere in your eyes, ears, nose, mouth, etc. So those are very basic things that one must follow. Medically, I will not give any advice because I'm not competent to talk about that, and most people should refrain from that. That's my personal take. So, but how to maintain emotional stress, or that's very very important for everyone. I have started back my practice not because of COVID, but I found time right now. I used to do meditation. I used to follow my practices, which I somehow I don't know why I lost in between. So I have got back to it again. Again, same thing, communication. See, we are humans. We can't go out and people will be more and more frustrated. So stay indoors, but reach out more. My advice to everyone will be for any situation, something, whatever's bothering you, giving you stress, or even for Abhijit's question, this applies to everyone. I have a very, very simple 4P formula. Stay positive in life. No one knows what's going to happen tomorrow. No one knows how we're going to come out. Just yesterday I read a very interesting report that Maruti sales are on par or same that they were last July. The July 2020 Maruti. See, we are talking that people are not spending, there is no income. But how this whole situation is affecting people psychologically, that people thought people used to save money. So far, Indian mentality is to save money. But during this COVID time, people realize we're saving for what? What if someone just dies and there's no tomorrow? So at least, and there's no commute. Like right now, there are, in many places, there is no public transport. You realize even to get groceries, to go, what are we saving on? Let's get, so and see things positively, see things in the perspective, not like what I think, what you think. Look at the bigger picture. So be positive, see things in the right perspective, be productive. Be productive. This time there's so much free happening on the internet. There's the Harvard Institute is giving free programs. There's so many webinars, so much happening. Meet up your friends, family online. Talk to them. People in your family. Even by helping, it's so good. even by helping others, you feel so much better. The other person gesture. So my very simple takeaway: stay positive, try to be productive, see things with in the right perspective. That will help you a lot.
Thank you, Bhavna. Thanks for your time. We're running out of time now. You have been wonderful. You are a power woman. You are a woman of substance. You
Thank you so
keep
much.
inspiring womanhood. Continue to inspire people and make a difference in their lives. Thank you for having you on. Thank you for coming to the show. We enjoyed having you here. Thank you very much.
Thank you very much, Jaya. Thank you
I
very
have
much.
to read out the comments. Hold on. I can't keep the jealousy to myself all night. So Suman Siroya is saying, my husband can't take his eyes off you, Bhavna. He says you're so beautiful.
Please switch on the video. Even I need to see him.
Suman, yeah, her camera is on and he's smiling right there.
Okay, one second. Okay, and
okay, then we have.
hi.
आवाज नहीं आ रही आपकी?
अरे अपने फोन में नहीं आ रहा.
अच्छा. Okay.
Hello, Mr. Siroya. We can hear you. Hello, Mr. Siroya. Good to have you here.
Okay, let's move to Govind. Govind says Bhavna should start a women's group that actually reaches out to more and more women and inspire them to rise to their true potential. Then we have Kalyan. I want to say something. Kalyan is saying, Bhavna ji.
Well noted.
Okay. Kalyan is saying, Bhavna ji, you are very modest in mentioning your database as 5,000 because it's definitely more than 20,000, I think. Thanks for inviting and very interesting. Wishing you all the best. You're being stalked, Bhavna. I thought I was the only one who was so impressed by your beauty. Okay. Ansi Lewis is saying, putting oneself in the other person's shoe is empathy. I think she added on to what you were saying. Mahinder Lamba says, super information. Asha Lata Pramod says, what a wonderful, well-rounded personality, a privilege to listen to. Madhu says, Bhavna, a great discussion on various life issues coming right from your heart. Truly loved it. You are so inspiring and awesome. Okay, then we also have Maninder. Okay. Okay, last I think Maninder Lamba, he says, Bhavna, beauty breaks. BBB. So Bhavna, are you going to sleep tonight, or are you're too full of yourself and you'll fly a little or jump a little?
Well wishers, good friends, good. This is good encouragement, and it's thanks to Premraj. Premraj is the one to really, bring me here. He needs to, someone needs to wake me up from my inertia. So, no, it's been wonderful, and all these are wonderful friends and family trying to help me get better in life. So, and I said, compliments or critics, don't take it very seriously. Smile and move on.
I go a little crazy, so I start jumping in the house when I listen to all this. So excuse me for that. Okay, something for us also. Satish Pandey saying, thanks Premraj ji and Jaya. Finally, mera naam aaya. For organizing a great session. Thanks and bye. So anyways, that was a joke. But it was lovely hearing you, Bhavna. You're like, as much as you're beautiful, you are so inspiring, and there are so many good things that one can learn from you and your life. So thank you so much for being with us today, and thank you each one of you, whoever was here with us today. I can see all the smiles on the camera on. So that brings in so much positivity, and we feel that okay, kuch acha kaam kiya. So thank you so much, each one of you, for joining us. Premraj ji, thank you so much for doing this series. I'm thoroughly loving it. Like seriously.
My pleasure.
Yeah. And Bhavna,
I'm enjoying it.
Thanks a lot again.
Thank you once again. Yes, thank you so much.
All the participants. Thank you very much to all the participants for all the support, encouragement, and Lata ji's spirit. Okay.
Okay, thank you everybody, and we'll meet again tomorrow with yet another speaker. And we are loving this series. Please stay connected. We'll see you soon. Thank you.
Thank you.
Bye. Thank you.
Bye. Thank you. Bye-bye.
Bye. Thank you. Thank you.
Thank you.